Welcome everybody. In today's video, we're talking about my favorite multi-tool of all time at the moment. Unless one gets made sometime in the future that I like better, this one's sitting at the top of the multi-tool world. This is the Victorinox Swisstool X, and I have had this for just at 1 year now. This is kind of a 1 year update video of where we're at with this tool. I apologize for the camera rattling. It's connected to my desk, which wobbles just a little bit, so apologies for that. So let's get into it. We'll scooch these over for now. Opening it up, we have the pliers. Very good plier set. These are strong. I have cranked down on these suckers, and they have held up quite nicely. We have the needle nose, which I do like being a little bit shorter than, say, your standard Leatherman needle nose. I like them being a little bit bulkier. Because if you really need something tiny, you really want one of the smaller multi-tools like that, or smaller pliers like that if you're just wanting tiny little things to reach in there and grab something. So we have the needle nose pliers. We have the normal plier heads, what we would consider a normal pair of pliers. We have soft wire cutters, and then just below that, the hard wire cutters. Don't know how well that'll show up. Yes, I am using a chopstick as a pointer. That's how I am. I have plenty of chopsticks. I eat a lot of Asian foods. So there's the plier heads. There's no spring tension. It's just loose, which is fine with me. I love that. It's reliable. I don't like spring-assisted knives, and I don't like spring-assisted pliers, because when it fails, you're just going to be in trouble. You know, the pliers just make you soft when you get spring-loaded pliers. You get mad when they break. And then spring-assisted blades, yeah, they open fast, but what if the one time that you need it to open fast, the spring fails? You know, you're stuck. I'd rather have a blade that I can reliably just, flick out, on my own power than to rely on a button and a spring. So that's just how I am. So let's get into the tools. And, the smaller tools. We have the knife blade. Nice long knife blade coming in at 2.5 inches of sharpened edge. Compared to a normal sized Victorinox blade, it is bigger and it is a little bit thicker. Makes it a little bit stronger. So that's nice. None of the tools are really one-hand opening on this model, but they are all one-hand closing. Something I should mention, currently, Victorinox has moved on some models. If you get you can get the swisstool X like what I have. You can also get the one where they've scooched the blade from here to here, and it has a one-hand opening tab and a pocket clip. So if you haven't wanted to get one of these for a while because the blade isn't one-hand opening and there's no pocket clip, check their website again. Last year, about this time, they released a pocket clip. Seems to be doing pretty well. So keep that in mind. But we have the knife blade. Great knife blade. I love it. People rag on Victorinox steel not holding up and stuff. I don't know what they're talking about. The edge holds up great, and it sharpens easy. It holds an edge long. I don't see the issues. Next up, we have this thick pry bar of sorts. It's way thicker than the main flathead of the Victorinox Swiss Army knives. It's way thicker. It's stockier. It's called a crate opener. I could see that sucker popping open a nice wooden crate. My favorite tool on here is the chisel, which I have had to resharpen a few times because I have used it so much. Great little scraper, great little wood chisel. We have 2 wire strippers. This one's supposed to be a little bit sharper of a V, but I have used that. It came with a little notch in there. It came broken. And so I just took a rat tail file, rounded it out. I was fine with that. I like having the 2 round cable strippers. But that's technically, this lower one closer to the pivot is supposed to be a sharper angled V rather than a curve. But that's fine. I was fine with that, but keep an eye on that. Sometimes they break, sometimes they don't. Up next, we have the standard bottle opener wire stripper combo, like what we're used to, just a little bit longer, which is great. Gets a little bit more reach. Fantastic little piece. Up next, we have the can opener. Same thing as the Swiss Army knife. Same size, same thickness, pretty much the same deal here. Then we have the saw, which I do think Victorinox has the best saws of any multi-tool out there at the moment. Fantastic. Love this thing. I've used that a fair chunk. Going to the other side, we have the file, which I use quite often and used it just today actually to file off some sharp points of some bolts that we cut with some bolt cutters the other day. Fantastic. The file lasts a long time. I like to keep a wire brush nearby, kind of clean that out when you're done. But that's not something you have to have on hand. You know, at the end of the day, you come home, you clean it out, you're good to go. We have small flathead driver. Very nice. We have an awl. Very good, very sharp. Love that little guy. It's been resharpened a few times because I've used it enough. What I like to do to get the Phillips driver out is I like to pull out the file just a little bit, yoink out the Phillips driver, and there we go. Fantastic Phillips driver. Victorinox does these things super well. Super well. I love that. Last tool on the frame here. Well-known scissors from Victorinox. These suckers last a while. They cut good. They stay good. They're just fantastic scissors overall. Love them. And so that's the main body of the tool. You can buy the swisstool X, just the tool and the pouch for it. But when I got this last year, I was like, I like the tool, but I want the rest of the package. Now, currently, the eyeglass driver that goes in this is in my Leatherman Juice, which is in my jacket, which is out in the car at the moment. So, not here for the video, but pulling out my Swiss Champ that I usually have the driver on. When you buy this whole set, it will come like this. This whole kit will come with a sheath of your choice, but it will have a slot for the driver, a slot for the screws, which I put in like that. It's a little bit easier that way. A little bit safer too on not getting poked. And the multi-tool. All that folds in and good to go. It's a little heavy, but I like having the weight. It just feels good. You need to take a brush to the inside of that a little bit there. Getting a little dusty. But you buy this whole kit, it will come with that. Actually, that is the original one that came with this. I just swapped the one that came on this because it didn't have the little engraved Victorinox logo on it. I put the not engraved one on my Leatherman Juice and put this one that came with this guy. But you see these little tabs on this side? The pocket clip can be screwed on to that, which is nice. So you can have right hand, left hand carry, so to speak, or like whichever, when you pull the tool out of your pocket, which side do you have access to the easiest. But it's also how you attach the corkscrew. Very nice. Hardly ever use the corkscrew as a corkscrew, but I do use it to undo knots and stuff. So it is very handy. My favorite thing is the bit kit. Now, it only came with 6 bits. 1, 2, came with this one. This one. I think. It's been a while. It came with like 2 Phillips that I didn't have, or no. Shoot, it's been a while. I've forgotten. I've moved some bits around, but it came with the 2 Allens and 2 Torxes. This one, this one, this one, and this one I know I added. This one I think I added, but there was like another bit that came with that. But it comes with some empty slots for you to fill up with bits that you need for your carry. And it gives you bits that are not in the multi-tool, which is nice because usually when you get a set of Leathermans or something and you get the kits with that, it's like you get redundant bits. And it's like, I don't need redundant bits. I just need what I need. And so that's nice that they give you a little bit different bits here than what's in the tool there. Very well thought out. It's fantastic. And I love also just how the tool feels when you open and close it. It just feels so refined compared to an American-made Leatherman. It just feels better overall. And then up next we have the ratchet. It does not have a switch, a little tab to switch directions. You just put it on, tighten, flip, and loosen. It does have a bit driver at the bottom, which can be used to hold that. Very fun little gimmick there. And also, if your bits have that little notch right there in the middle, please focus, camera. But you see that little groove running along the middle of the bit there? That will snap into the tension ring inside the extension here and here. And so that goes in, and there you go. You've got a low riding wrench. But if you're going to be putting a lot of pressure and you have the room, I would recommend that you add the extension so that way the bit does not go through the head here. But this is the best mini ratchet set that I have had in a long time, ever. And you can buy these just as they are on their own. It comes with this, and you can also buy like one that has like a 90 to it that does not ratchet. That's a good one from what I hear. But this little guy right here is just phenomenal. I've used this guy a lot, and it has been tried and true for a year now. No sign of damage. It's just nice. I love it. If you just want a little pocket ratchet system, this is what you need to get. This guy is fantastic. I'm not mentioning prices. You know, Victorinox, they can be a little pricey, but it's worth the money. And then this video, is going to hopefully be up for a long time. Prices go up and down. Currently, it's sitting at around $180 for this whole kit. But that's for the whole kit. Can change a little bit as time goes. Who knows? But you just snap that on, put the bit back in, and we're good to go. And I have had this on my hip out of the last 365 days. I'd say I had this on hand 360. There's been like 5 days that I don't wear the right pants or right outfit or something. It's just like, let's not carry it today. But out of 365 days, I've carried this almost every single day. Used it just about as much. And it's still holding up, shining as good as can be. The sheath is holding up nicely for a year so far. Got a little bit of a bend here for my belt, but that's fine. That's to be expected. No damage really to it. And it's just been wonderful to have. A year down the road, this thing is still... I feel bad if I leave home without this. And there's been times where I've left the bit kit at home. If I'm trying to slim down, I've made a DIY sheath for this. And I'll carry just this. But it's like, this tool is so fantastic. It's just phenomenal. It's great. I love it. Two most used things on this would be the file and the scissors. Because that's just what I do a lot. I snip and file. Knife blade's been fantastic. It's big. It's sturdy. I don't use the saw a lot, but when I do, it's always been great. I've used the chisel I don't know how many times. I'm always scraping like burnt glue and stuff off of tables. It's just been wonderful to have. So, this is kind of the year update to the Victorinox Swiss Tool X. It's holding up great. It's worth the money, I think. It is pricey, yeah. But if you're looking for a one and done multi-tool system, look into the Victorinox line of multi-tools. They have a slightly slimmer, smaller multi-tool called the Spirit. There's a Spirit series. That looks great, but I only have personal experience with the Swiss Tool X. And I can tell you, based off of this, it's just phenomenal. It's been a joy to have. And I think if you get one, you'll enjoy carrying it as well. So, thank you all for watching this video. I hope you found this useful and informational. Hope it helps you build your EDC to your standards. And until the next time, carry well. Bye-bye.